Hello, it's Jang here with a few Mega Construx Halo sets for ya. On the left is the Hermes Hammer Power Pack. In the middle is UNSC Marine Defense, one of the last 10-year anniversary sets for 10 years of Mega making Halo sets. And on the far right is the Spartan JFO Armor Pack. I'm going to start with this one. It's one of those rec station packs with just a different color and some new color combinations in general and new paint applications. I don't know what brown is supposed to represent as a hypothetical power-up, but, at this point, Mega is just making up colors, and I'm okay with that, because a trans brown color is, it's fairly neutral. It's something that you could use for many different scenarios. And most importantly, the figure comes with Tartarus's gavel, which unfortunately is the Halo 5 version. They didn't come up with a new mold to make it accurate to Halo 2 or anything. I know a lot of people have wished for that in the past, especially when they have created, Tartarus figures in the past. But as a Halo 5 variation of that, I do think it looks pretty good. The paint applications went on pretty clearly. All the edges are pretty nice, and that is done on both sides. So they didn't cheap out on that. And I'll take a closer look at the figure in just a second, but I did want to show you what the rest of this looks like. It's the exact same module, is the exact same rec station that they've done before, just with a different color up here for the banner. And when you open it up, there are two additional specialized weapons that they haven't done before with new paint applications. That SMG has the spiral skin on it, and I've attached the included optic and also the suppressor, which is one of those ridiculous looking suppressors that looks like a can, like a soup can on there. It's just too big. I don't like those. I think they're just downright silly. Fortunately, you can just take that off, just leave it off entirely. There we go. And everything looks so much better. The plasma pistol is the upgrade rec version called Spitfire, and it looks pretty good, but it is missing, I'd say, one color of paint application. It should have had in the center section, the connector between the upper and lower parts. I don't even know what you call those. That should have some cyan colored decorations on it that should be fairly clear. So overall, it looks pretty good, and I always like getting any kind of weapon that has, some paint on it, some coloration, even if it's fairly basic. But this is missing a little bit for that proper realism. The Hermes Spartan here is built on a female body mold beneath all the armor. And again, I personally don't really care much what this is supposed to represent in terms of a power-up state or anything, because they are using such a generic color scheme that it's just useful for all sorts of things. So let it be whatever you want it to be. Notice that the head is fully see-through, except for the visor that's printed on there, which I'm perfectly fine with. And underneath, the main undersuit is just black, which works out fine with the smoky colors. So everything here, I think, works out, again, just fine. I think this is a good figure to get, regardless of its context. Next, let's check out this JFO Armor Pack, which again has a single figure within it, but it has three different, well, more than three, but three main ways to set it up. Here's the default with the Spartan as it is pre-built right out of the package, and there's just a little bit of assembly required for this armor case over here, armor locker. So you just put some of the, or all of the additional pieces in there. Once again, the shoulder armor holders are not working so well for me. If you shake this around a bit with it closed, eventually those will just come loose. The helmets hold on very well. The main body armor over here holds on very well, but these two, they just don't have the part right for that. And I do have it oriented in the one and only correct orientation to supposedly hold those. I think you can kind of bend the tabs on the sides a little bit, putting it on wrong, but that can stress the pieces over time, so I don't want to do that. This is otherwise the exact same piece that they've done for other packs like this. They've just painted it with the metallic red on the front, which is new for that. So this JFO Spartan is straight out of Reach, and gosh, it is such a great time to have Reach-related memorabilia and collectibles on store shelves, because they just added Reach to the Master Chief collection, and a lot of people have gone back and started playing it again just recently. I certainly have fond memories of playing Reach multiplayer, at least, and co-op. Not so much the single player campaign and the graphics that they had with the weird chorus effect that they had to give motion blur in there. Definitely was not a fan of that, but just overall I have very fond memories of the Reach gameplay experience. And this just captures that. You know, this is straight out of that. This is right. It's ticking all the right boxes for me. I didn't go back and look up each individual armor piece to see if these are properly, set up for the default JFO setup. But notice that it does also come with, of course, the Reach appropriate version of the assault rifle. So that's all good. And the quality here is pretty good. Very fine metallic flake is used in the red parts, so you don't get a glittery effect unless you're looking really, really close. Overall, I think this is pretty decent. From what I saw on the package, to switch to EVA mode, Mega just recommends that you put the EVA helmet on and be done with it. So whoop-de-doo, I put the EVA helmet on it. The visor print for this one is, in my opinion, the worst of the three included in the set, because it gets a little thin towards the underside, where there's a little bit of curve away from probably the direction the main spray was coming from. It definitely could have used some additional definition down there, and then there's a little bit of splotch, but that's going to happen from time to time. But just, overall, not the best EVA helmet, just by virtue of the visor and the production work on it. Needs some touch up, if you ask me, but everything else here is the same. My apologies for changing the view just a little bit between takes there, but the Scout here, the Reach Scout, is not actually a little bit shorter than the EVA. I just angled the camera up slightly so that you'd be able to see the top of it a little bit better. So here I've changed out all of the armor pieces that you can with the parts included in this set. So both shoulder armor pieces have been changed out, and those are asymmetric, which is good. It's got some additional long-looking cartridges there, I'm assuming for the Scout's preferred sniper rifle, but the set doesn't come with a sniper rifle. Boo! Changed out the body armor, which is really just the front piece. They include two of the same back piece, which is fine, but this one has a little bit less detail on it. And then the helmet here is not bad. The mold is good, to be sure. The production work is not bad. Yeah, it could be better. It could be a little bit sharper around the base of the black, but at least it has that black on there, and plenty of it. And that just makes so much of a difference. It makes these look so much better when they have any kind of outline. Of course, this needs a lot of it by virtue of its design in universe. And maybe there's even a little bit too much here, but it's a lot better. Yeah, and it's a little bit offset. You can see the black gets a little bit lower on this side around the cheek than it does over here. Here it's a little bit higher. But just overall, from a reasonable distance, this looks pretty good. And I can always touch up just that little bit of missing area with a fine Sharpie. But just in general, as long as they have some black around the visor, it helps so much. And this is a pretty good look. I think just overall, the production work of paint applications in this set is not as good as it ought to be. You can also see on the back of the helmet there, just the angle of the spray was obviously coming from probably where was it? Did they do two angles? It looks like they may have done two angles. One coming from underneath and then one coming from up above, or it might even be a little circular or semicircular thing. But regardless, you can see that, it's not masked off perfectly. Anyway, I'm nitpicking. Let me move on to the next set. And this one I actually got some weeks ago compared to the other two sets that just came out on store shelves in my area. I believe I got this off Amazon. I had pre-ordered it when it first showed up, and then Amazon canceled my pre-order because it was taking so long, and I didn't even realize it. And then it came in stock, and I didn't realize it for a while, and eventually I was like, wait, I had ordered that. Why didn't I get it yet? Oh, they canceled it. Okay, so then I reordered it. So let's see what's inside. So this is actually a pretty good setup. The drones look in the package like they come pre-assembled, but they aren't really. I mean, they're partially pre-assembled, but you have to put on the little armor pieces, the little carapace sections, and the wing set is not attached, and the little tail things are not attached and stuff, which is fine. You don't have to do the most annoying part of, sticking ball joints into sockets and things. And I have always liked Mega's drones. The set of molds that they do is very good. The print that they put back here is very good as well. The only problem is that they are so good that they occasionally trigger PTSD flashbacks for me. Because the darn things in game, in universe, were so, pardon the pun, so buggy. When they would clip halfway into walls, and there would be one, you'd have a, sorry, story time with Jang. I have to. You'd have a door, that you have to go through, and there'd be this freaking drone up here clipped into the wall that has the door on it, and you have to go through there. And as soon as you go through there, it's immediately shooting at you. And on Legendary, it's not like you can just absorb the damage and flip around and take the thing out. You have to go back and forth, trying to bait it, trying to wait for the exact perfect timing where it can get just one single shot on you when you go in the first time, and you pull out and you go back through, and then it misses its first shot, which gives you just enough time to take it out before it finishes you off. And if you get more than one shot on you at first, then you don't have enough time for your armor regen. PTSD flashbacks, folks, from a toy. I'm telling you. Good times, though. Good times. Let's take a closer look at, I guess, the drones first, then. Well, the two are identical, so I don't need to show both of them. You're going to see the exact same thing, but yeah, level of detail is really good. The set of molds is fantastic. Those feet have hooks that have the exact spacing to hold onto a bar. So, anything the size of a normal Mega bar will accommodate these. They also have anti-studs on the undersides of the feet, and these are moderately soft pieces, so they actually have really good clutch power. They attach to things really well. There's plenty of articulation. They've got the waist articulation, which allows it to turn side to side and also go up and down, kind of bend around. And then the head also has some articulation up and down. It can turn like this. It's just generally good stuff. Not a lot of paint applications used here. Just the eyes, the back of the head, right here, back of the neck, I guess. And then up here, these two, what even are those? I forget what those are supposed to be, but just a good looking thing. Just watch out for those PTSD flashbacks. I'm telling you. It's nice that the wings have a little bit of frosted texture to them as well. They're not fully clear. I don't know which I prefer, fully clear or a little bit frosted. For something like this, it's more visible if it's frosted like this. But it might actually be a little bit more believable if you're able to see through it to the point where at some angles you don't even see it, like it's partially fully transparent. I don't know, like transparent clear. I think I like both, though. Not sure which I prefer for this particular model. Here's one of the Marines. I don't have them posed perfectly, but I think this is a very good looking Marine. It has a nice color scheme, and the paint applications are on point with this one. I mean, especially look at that headset there. So the entire headpiece is molded in that metallic green. So the visor is a paint application, and then the face, the skin tone is a paint application, and just the edges of it are masked off perfectly, and that's really, really shown especially well around the headset microphone that comes forward, and that just has the green color showing through. So that's very nicely done. Then this is the second generation, is it the second or third, I forget, version of this particular model of assault rifle. And this one has the rail on top you can connect things to, and it has the barrel that is sized to attach other things to as well. And here I've got one of the muzzle flash pieces attached to it. And there's what it looks like around the back. So no additional paint applications on this one back here, but I don't think it needs them. Overall, a very good looking figure. Now, pay attention to the face. It took a second for it to focus there, but pay attention to the face. I'm going to switch it over. So there we go. Same thing, just a different skin tone. Everything else is the same except for the weapon. I'll come back to that. But while we're talking about the face, look at the mic boom for this one. See, that's not that's not done right at all. The mask for this was way too close. What? I don't know. Was it just clogged up with paint or something? Is that what that represents there? Yeah, so there's just a bunch of skin tone paint that's missing on that one. So that's unfortunate. And then on this side as well, looks like, I guess just the whole mask for this one was just gunked up with dried paint, most likely is what happened there on the sides. That's too bad. It's not easy to get that exact skin tone either, to just do a quick little fix. It's not like black. If you need to add black to something, everybody's got a Sharpie marker, or you can get one easily. But yeah, to fix that, a little bit more difficult. So that is definitely unfortunate. I do like this version of the SMG, and this has some muzzle flash on it as well for grip, and it has the rail on top, short rail, so you can attach optics to it. Looks really good in just a plain black like that, and without a huge oil can or oil filter suppressor attached to it, But otherwise, everything else is the same about this. It's just skin tone for the face and the weapon. Lastly, the set comes with these side items, with the missile pod here, which unfortunately does not come with the parts to hold it in the hands of a figure. That easily could have been done. They could have included just I believe it's just 2 pieces that were needed to take this off its stand, its tripod there, and walk around with it. So that's too bad. It was a missed opportunity there. Here's the little 10th anniversary special gold colored piece, the proximity mine there. Forgive me if I'm mixing my terms between Call of Duty and Halo, but it is a mine, ultimately. It's a mine. Yeah, that's what it is. And that's the 10th anniversary gold piece, and then you just get a tiny bit of terrain here with sandbags that look pretty good, and just a block. That's that. So here are the 3 sets together out of package, and I think I've said all that I need to about them, or all that I want to. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Check out more of my Halo-related stuff in the specific playlist for this, and stay tuned for more videos to come. Talk to you again soon.